Hello. Now I'm going to look at Desmos and figuring out how to construct graphs, how to have titles and axis labels, and finally to have the view of the graph in the relevant position so that when you are able to export your graph for your PSMT, you're able to export the right graph with all the information present. So here I'm just at Desmos. You can see that I'm just on the Desmos website. If you type that in, you'll be able to get there too for yourself. You will need to be able to have this link bookmarked so you know that how to get there, because you'll be using this for your PSMT. Now, I'm going to use an rule that we did in the water tank activity for an example for this one here. You can see here's a problem. We got the graph, but it doesn't really show the full thing. So I scroll out, and the graph just never comes to a view that works for me. You can see here, even as I zoom out, it shows me vertically, but there's this big horizontal gap that's not helpful for us. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click this spanner icon, the graph settings, and I'm going to change my viewport. Now, you may not know what that means, but that's okay. All this tells me is like, what's the minimum value on the left-hand side and the maximum value on the right-hand side. Because it's a graph talking about capacity and time, I don't really need a negative value, or at least I don't need to go so far into the negative realm. So I'm just going to put negative, let's do negative 10. And you can see here that this will only go to negative 10 now. And on the right hand side, the time, I don't really want to focus too much on 500 minutes, like just a bit too long. So I'm only going to focus on like 30 minutes here. And you can see instantaneously, I have a much better view of my graph. I have, you can see here that I have the graph going upwards and going all the way to 500 with the 30 minutes here. And this is a better graph. The viewport is now doing what I want. I'm going to now add axis labels. If I click on the graph settings, I can now put axis labels for my x-axis and my y-axis. My x-axis, of course, is my horizontal axis. This is called time. And of course, we're in minutes now. So we've got to make sure we have units, okay, when we put out axis labels. And for our y-axis, here is capacity. And I believe it was in liters for the water tank. So we do that. And there you go. We got our axis labels here. We got capacity in liters, time in minutes. And then I can now add my title. Now adding a title, there is no, you can see here on the spanner icon, there is no ability to add title here. Has to be a little bit more creative. So what we're going to do, we'll type open brackets, and I'm just going to write a coordinate in here. So 0, 0 is the coordinate down here. As you can see, it just popped up with a blue dot because I made it there. I'm going to click on label and write my title here. So my title is going to be capacity versus time. Okay, that's my graph. I don't want it down here though. So you see that this should be up here, but it's down here. So we're going to change some stuff. We'll click on this icon. I'm going to click on the blue dot. And there's a few things that we want to do here. Number one, we don't want the point. Okay, the point, as you can turn it on or turn it off, but we don't want the point. We don't want that blue dot. Number two, we want to be able to drag it so that we can move this around. And number three, we want to change the font size so it's big enough. So we'll make it 3. As you can see here, now I can click on this and move across and put it on top here. And there I have my title. I can change my colors of my title if I want to. If I click on this and click on here, I can make my title a different color. Perhaps you want to do that for yourself as well, for your PSMT. Or sorry, the graph for this one here. You can change the color. All right. Once you've done that, you can press the export button. This button will allow you to export the image in a way that you want. Here, clearly you can see here, this is not the way we want it. We probably want to make the size a little bit bigger. So let's just do large rectangle. And you can see here, this is my graph. You can make the lines a little bit thicker if you want to. Keep it as PNGs, that's probably what we want. And we'll just download. As you see, as I download, I can click on the file and it'll open for me to get it. So hopefully this helps you to create your graphs for your PSMT. If you have any more questions, of course, please ask your teachers and they'll be able to direct you to the right place. All the best.